the world or marketing is kind of running the world also. But the question is marketing dead? Yeah, in crypto as well also. But yeah, before we come and talk about that not so good topic, I will like everybody starting from Kunal to introduce yourself in a line, what you do and who you are.
Yeah. Am I audible till the end? Awesome. So yeah, I'm Kunal. I work as a marketer at KLSA. Been a marketer all my life. Spent like 10 years doing marketing, 5 years in crypto. And as the panel suggests, I'm not very sure of what is going to happen next, or I will have my job or not. So I think right panel to be on.
Hi everyone, I'm Rachit. Over the course of my crypto career, I was head of growth and strategy for a crypto marketing agency. I was head of global expansion at one role where I did a lot of marketing like non-English speaking regions. I also run a podcast as the title suggests. We've done about 90 episodes now. Yeah, very excited to talk about this topic.
My name is Anshita, GM everyone. I know the spirit for GM is very low these days. But can I get a GM back? Yeah. Okay, everybody is pretty much alive. Again, I'm very excited for the panel because the topic is very sensitive to my heart. I'm not very happy that we have chosen this topic. But this is my 5th year in the world of crypto. And since last 2 years, I've been in the marketing world of crypto and AI both. So I have a couple of perspectives that I would like to put and a couple of questions to ask everyone in the room as well. So super excited to be here.
Cool. The first thing is, as Anshita already put it out, why we chose the topic also is why crypto marketing there. So given that we are all marketers here, I think we marketers, people are, generally marketers are quite known that they tell lies, they sell falses and all. But I personally believe that it's good to be truthful. I think that is where the fundamentals have been built. I am also already marketing for 4-5 years. I think everybody here is, quite extensive career in marketing. Two things I noticed which kind of bring us to this topic is one is the market, which is a the regular phenomenon. I'll say it's my kind of a third cycle I'm observing. Start or end of second cycle, start of third cycle. That we are not in a very good sphere. There are no net new narratives. The market is down. Tokens are down. Again, token is a proxy of product, but it's okay. Like for a moment, let's accept that it's a part of the cycle we are coming in. But there is also a key factor which is now coming is AI onslaught. I think Kunal just had a workshop on that. We recorded a podcast on the same topic. That we can't deny that when two things are merging together, there has to be some sort of changes. So I just want your three guys' thoughts. We starting with Anshita. That do you think again, like everybody asks, this cycle is different, and is AI is already playing a pivotal role with all the layoffs we are seeing, with all the changes of things, automate, we will do automations, Claude can do your work, etc., etc. I want to know your guys' thought on this.
Okay, to start with, this feels like a personal attack. I have seen 3 cycles, like I've seen 3 cycles here and there, and this cycle is definitely different. Just 1 month ago, AI ate my job, and AI agents replaced me, and I'm still coping up with it. So I think things are definitely different. But at the same time, I feel like when you say that is crypto marketing dead, the way I look at it is that shortcuts in crypto marketing are dead. But marketing as a funnel, marketing as a long-term vision in crypto and products in crypto, whether it's L1s, L2s, DeFi, SocialFi, all of that, that is still not dead. We just need to find ways in which we can find the best of both worlds, which is the agentic world that we are headed towards, and the current world where some things work and some things don't, and we always tend to find a shortcut. Instead of taking that shortcut, we find a way to build a marketing stack for ourselves, where we can cater to the products of today and also the products and projects of tomorrow. So I think that is where we are.
Yeah, I think this cycle is really interesting because if you look at all past cycles, we've always had like a fall guy or blame guy in every cycle. Like last cycle we had SPF, we had 7CS, we had Terra. Before that we had Loudhouse. We had all these incidents where it's like, okay, this happened, the industry has to fall after this. This time nothing's really happened. Like if you look at the past few months, like sure, AI has come up and we've seen all these layoffs, I've personally been laid off. Yeah, it's just an unfortunate wave of how it's going. But it's just how crypto markets progress, and there are rumors about this Hong Kong fund blowing up, there are rumors about centralized exchanges blowing up. 1010 obviously made a dent in our industry, which you see a lot of rippling effects happening now. So that's sort of what I think about why this cycle is different. It does feel like an end of the cycle, but again, like if you think about what has happened in past cycles, we haven't had a key event to signify it. What was the second question? Right? It was like why?
Like, what's the impact of AI over it? Like, one is obviously which you guys touched on that that this is a slightly different. What are the implications? Has AI been an active member of this downfall, or the change of crypto which we are seeing?
No, I think contrary to what Anshita's thought process is, I think the way that the whole cycle is structured, we're seeing a lot of people lose a lot of funds, and a lot of teams have now invested into things that they don't believe are working. Tokens are down. Holistically, things are just down to a point where they've invested so much into specific narratives and specific plays that just now don't make sense. Which is why you're seeing all these layoffs. AI is just a way for us to cope and say that we lost our job because of AI, but in general, this is why. It's good that we have AI because we can just say that AI ate our job. But if you look at it holistically, what's happening is these teams have lost their plots, they are pivoting, and when you are pivoting, you don't want a bloated team, you need to cut down, which is why you see engineering talent being hired so fast, which is why you see these teams double down on technical talent per se, because they need to pivot into this new world and figure out what they want to do in the next bull cycle. If you talk about AI implications, yes, teams are hiring less developers, they're hiring senior developers. AI is helping them ship faster. We'll come to a place where shipping product will come so naturally and so easily that maybe hiring a growth person or a marketing person isn't the right play because you just have so many iterations before you get somewhere. So I think coming back to the question, like is AI part of the downfall? I'd say no. I think it's just part of the wake-up process of a lot of teams realizing that what they're building is not useful, or the way that their marketing is not useful, or maybe the ROI mathematics on, okay, we're going to invest in these 5 things. Maybe 4 of those things just don't make sense in a fair time, which is why we're seeing so many layoffs, so many changes in perspective. But these markets always turn around. This happened in 2017, this happened in 21. It will come back again eventually. The best thing that you can do while AI has not eaten your job is to learn AI so that when the market picks up again, you are perfectly positioned to be in a position where you are the good person for anything. Because teams are going to hire less, and Kunal will talk more about that, how he structures his team, of course.
Yeah, I think it's okay to go unhinged, right? For sure. So I think
As much as you want.
we need to move out of our bubbles. This is a world order reset. I don't think crypto matters to that extent it used to matter. At the same time, what it means for you as an individual is that, or a marketing, is that look at the world order, understand what is happening there, because crypto, whether you like it or not, we're always coupled with what is happening in the world. Not on the price action, but everything bad, it will impact crypto. I don't believe in cycles anymore. I don't think cycles will come back because there is no strong reason for those cycles. Things are being exposed to an extent where ultimately the dream of reaching 2 billion users is dead. So you don't want to, I think better as early as you accept that, you'll be better able to serve to whatever that is happening around us. Now the positive side of it is that because agentic stuff is there and we are talking about, what if agent becomes individual entity of their own, what is the financial infra that will serve those agents? What are the 2 scarce resources as of now? Doesn't matter what you're building. 2 scarce resources as of now is internal capital, second is AI credits. If you think in that direction, then if as an agent or deployer of an agent, what I really want to go after is how can I bring these 2 things to me from day one. Hence, when you talk about in this perspective, that thesis that I will launch a product, then it will eventually monetize, that collapses. Because anyone can launch a product now. Your only mode which was launching a product is gone. second mode distribution, that will be gone as well in a year's time, because anyone can create good amount of content at speed, at volume. So what remains is, can crypto provide a natural home for these agents to monetize as soon as possible? That is where your crypto marketing should be. That is where AI and crypto can complement. And second part, which I'm very excited about, is verification. And it's like everything that you are getting as an output from AI, can you verify it to an extent? And if that is the use case, are there enough companies building around that? And if that is the use case as well, is marketing happening in that direction? So I think the blanket marketing, because the category, everyone now accepts that financial things is the only category that exists for crypto now. Decentralized social is dead. I also bullish on it, lost so much money. It is done. What only remains, and every crypto VC is now talking about that, from Haseem to everyone, that financialization is the only thing. So if that is the only thing, you as a marketer need to think in that direction and understand that the shelf life of a product itself has come down. If you launch a product, it will run for a month. Sorry if I'm creating a very doomsday scenario, because in order to find the right answers, you need to swallow the bitter pill first. So in order to get there, we need to first understand that what if the shelf life of the product itself has gone down, then what already exists? And I see that consolidation will happen, whether we like it or not. Not many consumer crypto products will be there. Consolidation will happen around, can you serve agents in some shape or form? And what is the moat can you build around that? And there are two things that are happening in parallel. One is the AI hype is for sure there, and at the same time it is eating away everything that exists. Even if that threat is not imminent, everyone is preparing for that imminent threat. It is like a bomb shelter. Bomb may fall on you, not now, year after, but you're still building those shelters. I think we are in a bomb shelter building phase. Eventually bomb will fall down. Oh, sorry.
So I think we have set up the correct context. I personally see it, as Kunal also mentioned, is one is the cycle thing. If we believe it's there, if not there, one is the AI's intervention, and third is the global issues and the global problems. Will not bring the global issues. We don't want to make it a geopolitical discussion as of now. Want to keep it simple and see. I'll mostly narrate our discussion into two separate funnels. One is the crypto's change and the AI's intervention. You can alternate between the two things. I think let's start a little bit on the crypto front. Right? Every year, I think Rachit pointed out a very great point that there was a reason for a fall of a cycle. Maybe SPF, maybe some DAO hack, maybe some other part. But this year, I didn't think beyond Bitcoin, and there can be some outliers of Zcash or some other things. There was no real cycle in anything. People might say, after in hindsight, there was no alt cycle every year. There will be new alt cycle. But if every year there is a new alt cycle, we can't say it's a cycle. It's a it's a prediction, it's a gambling kind of a thing. Then Kunal's thesis comes into the picture. Then there is no new cycle. But as with all these constraints and all these things, we are seeing lots of attention kind of focusing towards a very few handful of sectors, and that marketing is not kind of how we have came to know. Like if we pick up institutions, stable coins, and VC stuff, I don't think they care if we rank on InfoFi platform. And thanks to Nikita also, I don't think that the InfoFi meta is also gone. It's nobody can harp on that farm. I think everybody here knows that even ambassador programs have its own limitation. Yes, I think if you are a real bullish on a product, if I am a marketing lead of the product, I can say, if you are interested, let's take my affiliated badge. I can to fund you and you yap on your own way. But I don't think at this market, or if we learned it from our mistake, we will not bring that colorful ambassador programs. Just paying a KOL $5,000, use it randomly, just expel our entire marketing budget there. So every cycle, I think we have repeated the same mistakes. We haven't learned. I think this InfoFi thing was a packaging of the old age-old KOL thing which has happened. The excessive spending of events. I think events like this very nice, good, but I think we all have added alternate events and seen some crazy spending there which was not needed maybe. So my question to all of you guys, and I want to know your thoughts over here, that I definitely think in the crypto sphere, it sits as a time of a reset. And I think the market is now learning from its mistake. Maybe it's how we allocate budget, maybe how we find channels, maybe it's not Twitter, if it's maybe some other platform. How the next phase of maybe crypto marketing is going to look like, at least in your own individual minds. For it might be the existing narratives you're playing on, or maybe the new narratives which might pop up. I think Kunal, maybe we can start with you.
Yeah, I think one thing anyone who is building in crypto needs to do is go talk to users. I think that is the one mistake that we did, where we did not talk to users enough. Now it is more important than ever that you go and talk to users. It doesn't matter how small is that cohort is. Go and talk to users. Embracing small, do that. That is one. Second, I think agents will become huge consumer of your product. And if they are becoming huge consumers of your product, then how do you market to them? Agents don't care about your brand. They don't care about how your logo looks. They don't care about how many people are yapping about you on Twitter. They might care about it to a certain extent, but their inclinations are entirely different. And if you take DeFi as a use case, POP as a use case, which is a subcategory, and maybe prediction market as a use case, this is where the volume is, this is where the liquidity is. So now what I'm seeing is everyone trying to force build their product in that direction. So marketing is an afterthought in a way. What you really need to do is find that very good use case that no one can actually crack. Start very, very small, and then your marketing funnel will sort of build around that. Consider any GTM. GTM is acquisition, then you onboard, then you retain, then you engage, and then you monetize. Now think how agents will go through this funnel. If agents are not going to go through this funnel, you need to think of different funnels altogether. So this is where my thoughts are on the marketing approach.
I think in the morning also as when talking with you, I think this is what I am also thinking from now. I think I took a note that marketing for agents. I think now I have a newer job, marketing for humans, but marketing for agents, which is a little bit more challenging, because I think Kunal mentioned a bunch of other points. I'll put that episode, you guys can see. But I think this is going to be the new paradigm for sure. Yeah. Rachit, what's your thought?
I think crypto is going to split into two segments. We're seeing this institutional side of crypto pop up. In hindsight, it was always this way. Since 2023, funds like BlackRock, Bank, these guys were always there. These guys are just going to become more front-facing. But with all these institutions coming on board, I think that's going to be fundamentally important throughout the next 2, 3, 4 cycles, or however long this goes on. Apart from that, there are some experiments that I generally urge you to try out. I think in the attempt of talking about crypto marketing and what works and what doesn't work, I think this sort of comes into the AI stuff as well. I generally urge you guys to build something, write code something, use Claude Code, build. So like we built like this astrology app. It basically lets you trade your horoscope on chain. Me and a couple of devs built this in like a week, and within 2 days we got like 300 users on the app. This was nothing. We just had people follow the account. It naturally blew up. I did a video, a launch video. We got a lot of creators to do UGC content. It taught me a lot about what works on Twitter and what doesn't work on Twitter. So I think that should be your first win if you're trying to learn how this crypto marketing stuff works. The second thing I've been seeing is there is an evident funnel between short form content on Instagram to Telegram. So I was talking to this creator the other day. He was telling me about how he's been using hooks on Instagram, and he's been converting that into Telegram leads, and then he's been sort of selling strategies on Telegram. I think that's beautiful. I think a lot of teams will sort of lean into this, and we'll see like this new form of marketing emerge using Instagram as the main mode. But again, like this is what I think will be the more institutional side of crypto. The native crypto lead marketing way will always exist. Like saying GM will always exist. Like the crypto native hire is not dead. Like the money is with the institutional side, which is why you see all these fintechs, neobanks, neo-finance applications hire so much. But this will level up. So if you're trying to build a crypto muscle or a crypto marketing muscle right now, look at both sides, understand which part you're a little bit more inclined towards, and just go heavily into that side. That's sort of how that's how I'm positioning myself as well.
Yeah, okay. So I want to break this into two separate conversations. Let me first start with what Kunal shared. I have been in the agentic commerce rabbit hole for a while, and marketing for agents has been like a very big conversation even there as well. Just this morning, I read two tweets that the Polymarket team put on their Twitter. One tweet said that Replit CEO said that all the new people that they'll be hiring will have backgrounds in vibe coding and agent maxing. And then I saw another tweet that said that Atlassian, which is like a very big Web2 software company, is laying off 10% of its workforce because of the AI restructuring. So I was like, my timeline works in mysterious ways where one company just tweeted about the way they will be looking at hiring people in future, and the other is talking about because AI and automation exist, how they will reform their ways of marketing. One talks a little bit about Web2 plus Web3, and one is completely Web2, right? I feel like with AI into the picture, marketing will actually feel like one big umbrella, where you do tiny things from every space and figure out what works best for your product and your company. What Rachit said, which is that no matter what happens, there still are going to be GMs and DGMs and traders in the space, right? In that context, I feel like now is the best time for a company to actually sit and think about if AI agents can do everything, which is Claude maxing or Claude co-work, what is the kind of culture do we build that humans would feel like they should be part of this ecosystem? Before this, in the other cycles that I've seen, talking about culture has been throwing a big ass party, or just having fun together, or probably partying together and all of that, right? Maybe this is the time that we actually sit and introspect as to what all worked for us, what all did not work for us. If 90% of the things can be automated, what are those 10% of the things that are really, really unique to your brand? A very good example to this is when Rachit was taking care of fellows at his previous job, there was a certain culture that he had built there that still exists. And I will give him all the credit for building that culture because it was fun, it was lively. And the conversations that happened in those circles were not just about the company, but also about what was happening in the world. If you figure out a way to humanize your marketing right now and actually compound relationship building at this point in your life and your strategies, I feel like that will really, really compound well. So think of it from a lens where 90% job can be automated, what 10% makes you stronger. It's all about figuring that out. And this 10% can be from Web 2, can be from Web 3, can be through unique things that different brands have done in the past that has worked out, or maybe it can be from a lens as to what will work and just fuck around and find out as to what experiments we can do and it'll figure out कि क्या काम करेगा और क्या नहीं करेगा. That's how I look at it.
Awesome. I think great insights. Thanks to all of you guys. I have also learned a lot from the discussions you guys are sharing. I now want to give you a little scenario, and I think if you guys, anybody is marketer, want to take a part, you can also think or jam with us. That assume you all are kind of GTM leaders to a project, and what you will do now with the market which we have now and with agents intervention. Like assume you have the max Claude code plan, and the market is in this sphere, and you have to build a maybe marketing a complete GTM strategy for a stablecoin product. And the GTM strategy is very specific to India. Like an India GTM strategy for a stablecoin product, they want to enter into the ecosystem. You have the Claude Code Max plan, and the market is like this. And we know India is not very favorable for all this. There is DevCon coming up. We know there is not much hype. It is a constant. I mean, if you can take this 5 minutes because we'll run out of time if we take a lot of time, and share a case study. How you approach the problem. Maybe Rachit, you can start this time.
I think the first thing we do is, can we not do India because I think that limits us legally on doing a lot of things like that.
I think let's assume that there is no legal challenge. Let's assume that.
Okay, let's assume that. I think the first thing that we want to figure out when we're doing GTM is figure out where the market exists. Like who is the target user of this stablecoin and where is this being used? you want to figure out both sides of the funnel, where it's similar to like how ATM do back in the day. Like the QR code was the only way you could pay, but the only way someone would receive payment is if someone had the app installed or if they had funds in their wallet, right? So the first thing is figure out who is actually ready to accept and pay, and then that's where the JDM funnel starts. And that's like the top funnel where you start off. Yeah?
Yeah, I think trying to find out where the market exists, that is one. Is it the supply side? Is it the demand side? That is the other part of it. And I think, again, for many products, as I mentioned earlier, marketing is afterthought. Can you, in the product itself, do that marketing, embedding the marketing thought in the product itself? That would help the product a lot. Example, if I'm blindly building a product just because the heck of it, then it might not work. If I'm building a stablecoin product, is it a right market for me? And that starts with finding out first maybe 10, 100 users who would be willing to do it. Ultimately, but again, on the premise, if it is okay to say that stablecoin may not be a right market for, India is not a right market.
Kunal, let's assume that it's the right market, or let's say we have a lot of merchants who are ready.
So I would say, yeah, this is where I would start.
Common users are not happy to interact with stablecoins with this merchant because Paytm exists or this.
Yeah.
What would we do then?
See, this is where I would start. What is the utility of that particular product, and who are my first 100 users, or what is that cohort looks like? Nail down that as soon as possible. Now you got like Cloud Max plan. It will throw you multiple scenarios, and that is how I use it for my GTM strategies as well. That jam with it as much as possible, understand what is the market, what are those nuanced problems that exist, which my product can solve, and trust me, when you talk to Cloud and do the max plan, it will throw you those scenarios. So start with that, which was not possible before, because you had to go to market, talk to tons of people, and then figure this out. Now that whole process can be done through AI to a certain extent.
Yeah, okay, so now we have the top of the funnel set and we have our first 100 users, right? Let's say now I get the feedback from my first 100 users of whether this product is real utility or just another hype, me trying to ape into VC's money, or if it's like a real utility product, right? Let's say it's established that this product is actually helpful. Now I find ways, how do I make it 100 to 1000? How do I scale it? Now, to be able to scale it, the funnel will involve the ways to do it IRL, the ways to do it virtually, the ways to do it just by the word of mouth. And in this entire process, figure out where your target audience is, figure out who's willing to pay for it, figure out who's happy to use it. And while you are designing all of this, also keep in mind what all of it can be automated and what all of it can be delegated. Will you need an agency to do it from 100 to 1000 users, or will you be able to do it just with your Lord Max subscription? Figure out those answers. Find out that journey of 100 to 1000 people. Figure out that if KOLs work for somebody in the past, will it work for you or not? Will it work this time or not? Will InfoFi is dead already, right? But will doing a micro UGC campaign help this a lot? Because even though InfoFi is dead, I would like to see 10 people on my timeline talking about how this particular product made their life easier. Because unless and until I hear your stories of how this product is helpful, a tweet or a LinkedIn post will not do justice to it. I want to hear stories and I want to see faces. I want to see how easy it is to use, right? So then you boil it down to everyday marketing thing that we have been doing, just from the lens of how much money you need to put into it, how much effort you need to put into it, and how much of it can be automated. So these will be like the end of your funnel. And then you compare the topmost funnel with the amount of users that actually retained and kept using the product again and again. And then you find out which layer was it that actually accelerated your top of the funnel the most. And then you double it up.
I think the better way to visualize this is the funnel works when you're trying to sell something. When you have something that has network effects, it's a flywheel. Like if a creator creates something, do they talk about it, do their friends talk about it? It's like a flywheel.
Yeah.
So in crypto, marketing is a flywheel because love it or not, your token is also part of the equation. It's all part of the flywheel, right? So that's probably that's a way to sort of summarize it.
Awesome. I think great answers. I think I'll also like to hear some audience answers to it. Anybody, I'm seeing a few marketing faces here. If anybody wants to maybe take this as a problem statement and share their own insights, maybe you know, can please, I can give the mic. Anybody want to take part? Cool. It shows that marketing is great anyway. So yeah, I think let's move on to the last segment of our discussion. Yeah, I think one thing I think with all that whatever we discussed and talked about here is that we have to, I think we will all admit that it's a very new situation we are in. Maybe I think Rachit shared one that okay, it's kind of cyclical. Kunal shared no, I'm not following cyclical. Anshita shared her own opinions. But I think the reality is we don't know how marketing is going to play out from here. With maybe a cycle, may not be a cycle, maybe new narratives, may not be, and with AI's intervention. I think we discussed about all these things in various other ways, but if you guys want to package it up and say how you are approaching marketing as a whole beyond crypto, if you can sum up it maybe 2 to 3 pointers each one of you, I think everybody of us here can have a takeaway that okay, this since you guys have their own unique insights, we can start from here. Okay, because of this AI onslaught thing, because of this down cycle thing, or maybe the cycle is dead, we can actually take this as a starting point. I think Kunal, if you can share your own points.
Yeah, I will end this on a positive note. I think I have created too many. I think because AI, whatever things that are happening around us, marketing as a fundamental thing will always exist. Ultimately, whatever agents that are deploying, those are deployed by humans, and that trust layer sounds very cliche, but that trust layer matters a lot. There is a great essay by Paul Graham which he published like 3-4 days back, where he talked about how like evolution of watches happened, like how they got into mechanical, then how they got precision, but everything is solved now. What they solved for, they started solving for brand. I think similar way, even in crypto, there are still wonderful use cases to go after. I think AI has only made us go after them harder, and while doing so, we need to understand that these are the fundamental things that exist for marketing, which is not just distribution, but building distribution with trust, with a brand. I think that would untaste, as people call it. So that would matter a lot than before. So yeah, if I really want someone to take away something from this session, this is it. Like, focus on brand building a lot. That is what will be a differentiator in the long run.
I think the takeaway I want you guys to take away from this is the cycles will come back, the jobs will come back. This is the time for you to upskill. There's so much out there in terms of AI and stuff that you should run right now. Try to build that app, try to get 100 users, try to get 200 users. A lot of these layoffs happen because you were hyper-focused on like just one skill. This is the time for you to get broader, get more generalist exposure, build that brand that Kunal's been talking about. Figure out ways that you can add value to that crypto marketing stack. Like we talked about it being a flywheel, try to run a UGC campaign. And that will all come from you having your own product and building your own thing. That's the first thing that I want you to focus on. The next thing that I think that a lot of teams will sort of levy into is, I don't know if you guys have seen Asta from iCloud on Twitter. She's been doing a lot of cool stuff, building with AI agents, using the iCloud stack. I think that is the next evolution of marketers in crypto, where someone who can build something on top of the existing stack, show a unique use case, and then market it. That person will have a lot of value over someone who's just a marketing person who will just add value from a brand account. So these are the things that I want you guys to focus on, and that would be my motivation.
Anshita.
Yes. As a marketer, my dream is to become someone who can sell anything to anyone. And I feel like with AI in the picture, with us having access to all the tools that are out there, now is the time that we can actually do it. So now I don't want to put my marketing in a box where I only talk about crypto or tokens or one infra project or one infra project. Look at marketing as a very big umbrella which has multiple verticals, and each vertical is very much achievable with AI, and you can do things at lightning speed these days. So please go and find your favorite AI tool that generates cool videos, one tool that understands your style of writing, and then you just experiment with it and write cool stuff. Please find that one AI video editor that can stitch everything for you and just do it as quickly as possible, right? So build your own stack. Sit today, give it a weekend, experiment with 100 different tools out there and find what works best for you. If you love Claude, but I like ChatGPT, you can judge me all you want, but if that works best for my style, maybe that's fine. So my only advice for you to take away from this conversation is, this is the time to build a stack. There needs to be one version of you which is human, and your imaginary Iron Man version that understands everything AI and can automate things. So just build your own stack, and the sooner the better.
Awesome. I think with that we are ending our not so positive panel on a positive note. I think thanks to Kunal, thanks to Rachit, thanks to Anshita for doing, and thanks to ETHMumbai team for giving us the platform to discuss. I personally learned a lot, and I think hope everybody of here take away something from the discussion. Yep. Thanks.